the managing general partner of the New York Yankees. In other words, one of the owners of the New York Yankees, Hal Steinbrenner, joins us now on the Mike OK Show here on 98.7 ESPN and on Yes. Hal, it's Michael, Don, and Peter. How are you today?
Good, guys. How you doing?
Good. I'm kind of pumped up about tomorrow. I just feel a level of excitement that I haven't felt in a while. Well, you're the owner of the team. What's your feeling going into the first game?
Well, look, I'm always excited for this. I mean, it's a fresh start. It's, full of hope the year. I mean, so opening day every year I'm excited. It is a little bit different because of what we accomplished last year and the expectations being so high and, having such a great group of young players and veterans alike. And there's just a lot to be excited about.
Now, your general manager, Brian Cashman, told us you're the little engine that could. And your shortstop, Didi, says we have to win this year. So where do you fall? Because those are two polar opposite opinions. So where do you fall on this season?
Well, look, I think we have a championship caliber team, Don, without a doubt. And, a lot of things have to go right. We have to stay healthy. But we have a team that can, in my opinion. It's going to be an uphill battle. It always is in our division. It's a tough division, and it won't be any different this year. But, I believe we got a real shot.
Hal, when you and your people sat down and decided to go this route, kind of reimagine the team, you never really rebuilt because you were always competitive. Did you think that in 2018 you would be able to put on the field on opening day in Toronto what a lot of people consider to be a powerhouse team? Did you think it would happen this quickly?
Well, look, as you know, Michael, we had a few tough years, and we did things a little bit different than we normally do, trading away some of our best players at trade deadlines, and I think we exercised a lot of patience in not trading away the Sanchez's and the Judges and the Severinos of the world when, all the teams wanted them, just to try to stay relevant any given year. I mean, we were patient, had some good drafts, Cash made some great trades. I think really it's a combination of things that really all came together, and am I surprised? I don't know, but I'm sure as heck excited as you are, and it's great that some of the guys you're talking about are homegrown guys.
And, of course, it all seems to really feed off a Judge who had just this amazing season. Can you even realistically expect more from him?
Well, he was not healthy the whole year, so if we can keep him healthy for the whole year, I think there's no reason to assume that he couldn't have a better year. He certainly struggled a month or two last year at the plate, but look, I just think great things are gonna come from him and a lot of our other young guys, and it's exciting because we just watch these guys progress year after year and progress well, and they're finally at the level now where they're making things happen on the big stage.
One of the wild cards of this team, and, people ask me, Hal, and I go, I don't know how Aaron Boone's going to manage. I think he's a really smart guy. I think he's got baseball in his blood. He knows the game. But how's he going to manage? Well, we're not going to know until starting tomorrow. So you got to watch him during spring training. I'm sure you interacted with him. What are your early returns on Aaron Boone?
Calm, cool, collects. He's great with the players. I've seen him interact with the players in smaller groups and as a whole, the team as a whole. And I just think he's very level-headed and, like you said, very intelligent. He knows baseball. He grew up around the game, played the game. So I think he's going to be a great fit. I think we saw great things, from him in the spring. But, he's got a lot of work to do, and expectations to him as well are high, and he knows it.
That's so strange, right? You've got the Mets, Red Sox, Yankees, all high expectations, all with rookie managers. So you've been around this game a long time. Is it strange to have teams with high expectations have that jarring a difference from one season to the next manager?
Well, I mean, look, all I can tell you is we have a team of young players, and we have some good veterans like Gardner, veterans like Stanton. And I think they're going to, especially the veterans, I think they're going to help Aaron as well, and we've got a lot of former players that are going to be involved from time to time, giving him a lot of advice. So he may be a rookie manager, but like I said, he grew up around the game, and if you've got a good team of good young players, but especially of veterans, they can help out a young manager, and I have no doubt that's what's going to happen here.
Hal, it's an interesting family business, but a family business nonetheless, the Yankees. Is there any special family component to opening day at all for the Steinbrenner family?
There is. Most of us are going to be there. We'll see about my mom. I'm not quite sure yet, but this is a third-generation deal now. I've got three nephews and a niece that are involved, George's grandkids. So obviously my sister Jenny, Hank, me, we're involved. So, I mean, we're on to the third generation now, and it's exciting for all of us. And, most of the grandkids will be there as well. And so it's very much a family event in our box, and a lot of good things to come.
Now, you mentioned this at the start, Hal, and this is what I tell people, too. They go, well, what are you worried about with the team? I said, well, I mean, you worry about health with any team, and then, boom, right toward the end of spring training, you lose Greg Bird. And I think the team has the talent to absorb it. But Greg Bird, a lot was expected of him. So how much of a blow was that, and how disappointed were you about that injury?
Well, I'm very disappointed, but overall the spring was fairly healthy. It could have been a lot worse. And, look, he's going to be back sooner rather than later. He came back from the last operation fairly quickly, and, we think that's going to happen here as well. We'll see. It's still going to be 6 to 8 weeks, right? But I think he's going to be back, and he's going to be contributing before you know it.
So where do you fall on, is it just a bad stretch here, or is he injury prone? Are you concerned that this is something that can be, haunting him for a long time?
No, I mean, you all read the press release. I mean, this was a procedure to remove a spur-like thing, and, it was very real. It's a very real thing, but it's now out of his foot. So all in all, that should lead to better things. It should lead to him feeling much better. And, again, if he heals as fast as he did the last time, which we certainly hope he will, he'll be back before you know it.
Hal, you've been on the show a lot. We're talking with Hal Steinbrenner, the Yankees managing general partner, and you've said, I don't think you need a $200 million payroll to win a World Series. And was it shocking to you, and was it satisfying when the rankings came out the other day that the Yankees are 7th in payroll and the Red Sox are well ahead at number 1? I mean, you obviously have a really, really good team with a lower payroll than you usually have.
Yeah, no, it wasn't shocking. I didn't specifically try to calculate where we were in relation to everybody else. But, no, it wasn't shocking because of what you just said. We've got a good young team and a championship caliber team. So, this is what we've been striving for years, to have a good mix of marquee-type veterans, mentors, and young players. And I've always said that you shouldn't have to have a $200+ million payroll to win a World Series because nobody has.
Is there enough money, Hal, under the 197 that if you had to acquire, let's say, a pitcher at the trade deadline, that you would give the okay for that?
Absolutely. We've got money to spend at the trade deadline. We're going to do what we need to do to remain competitive throughout the course of the entire year. So there absolutely is money there.
I don't know how big a football fan you are, Hal, if you understand what's going on with the Giants and Odell Beckham Jr. They're trying to make a decision whether to give him a long-term contract, trade him. He's got a little history. I mean, can you empathize with that situation when committing to a player, trying to kind of prognosticate what kind of guy he is, whether he's going to get himself in trouble if you give him a long-term deal, or are you under the boat of, listen, when a guy's got talent, I got to try to find a way to make this work. I don't want to give up that kind of talent.
No, all those factors have to come into play, or you're not doing your job as a GM or an owner. I mean, that's just a fact. All of those factors, personality factors, health history, all that has to come into play. And long-term contracts, as you know, can be a tricky thing. But I think you have to look at it that you're going to get most of what you're going to get in the first few years, right? And then towards the end of the contract, it could very well be a different story. But you go in with eyes wide open knowing that. But everything has to come into play. It's a big decision, and it should be.
Now, Don, shame on you. Hal's family is a big football family, and Hal's a big Viking fan. So yes, I've got to ask you, are you okay with Kirk Cousins?
I am. Look, I think we've got a team that can win it now. You're going to have Cook back, the running back, this year. We've picked up a couple other guys. I mean, I think we've got to go for it. So I think that's the idea here, to get a quarterback, more of a veteran quarterback. I was sad to see Bridgewater go, but to get a quarterback that can take you over the hill this year, because the rest of the team, I believe, is certainly championship caliber.
I think you're going to be happy with Kirk as a guy who just had him for the first part of his career. Week in, week out, he will make you happy. There'll be some occasional moments when you want to stab yourself in the eye, but week in and week out, he'll make you happy. Do you think the Jets could have something in Teddy Bridgewater? Like, you were able to watch him. How talented do you think he is?
I think, he reminded me at times of my hero growing up, Tarkington. I mean, with the scrambling and the running, I mean, he's got great ability. I don't know, he had a catastrophic injury, as we all know, and how does somebody, is anybody 100% coming off of an injury so catastrophic? I don't know. I hope for his sake he is, and I hope he does well. And, again, I was sad to see him go, but I think there's tremendous upside.
Why Vikings?
Older brother Hank, I mean, growing up in the mid-'70s, obviously we had a great, great team, and it was even before the Buccaneers were around, so I was living in Tampa, but there wasn't even a Buccaneers yet, so I just latched on to the Vikings and never let go.
It's true, Hal, that your dad came very close to buying the Buccaneers, right? Is that something that you wanted him to do?
We looked at that. I mean, look, the Buccaneers have always been one of my favorite teams. I always rooted for them and still do, but, yeah, we did come close. I don't really remember the details, what happened or didn't happen, but it would have been exciting. Football's a great sport. It's a lot of fun.
Now, I got to ask you a personal favor, if I could. The Yankees, unveiled a lot of these great foods that are going to be at the stadium this year, and they have beer. You guys have beer where you could actually put somebody's head, the shape of the head, into the foam. Is there any way I could get a Michael Kay head into the foam?
Not a big enough beer.
It doesn't last long, though, does it?
Well, you know what? Life doesn't last long, so even if it's a moment, I'm okay with it.
Or you can try to freeze it as quickly as you can.
Yes, I would do that.
Well, take a picture.
I could take a picture, and then it lasts forever.
You can take a picture. Yeah, that's true. I will do what we can do, Mike. Anything for you.
But how self-centered do you have to be to get your image on a coffee and then take a picture, like a selfie with it?
You know me 17 years. How self-centered?
And you don't even drink coffee. Which
no, this is beer.
Oh, beer, that's right.
Yeah,
because they do it with coffee now, too.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. Anyway, will you be, this is a dumb question. You're going to be watching tomorrow. Are you, planted in front of the TV?
I will be planted in front of the TV. I got my daughters with me tomorrow, so that'll be great. And then I'm heading up to New York Friday or Saturday to start to make sure the stadium looks good for you and the beer foam thing works.
Yeah.
You're so hands-on.
Howie, thank you. Good luck this year. It should be a lot of fun, and I will see you Monday.